I want to talk about negative stories today. And I want to give you an idea on what these negative stories are. We all know this is a hallway. It's the hallway to my apartment. There's a bathroom. This is another bedroom. That is my painting studio. This is the closet. This goes into my living room. And there's the door. So I can enter or exit my apartment. Well, this is what happens when you have a negative story. You walk into the door and you're walking along, everything's going great, and all of a sudden, the negative story opens up and rains on you. So you do typical manifesting. You ignore it, you step around it, pretend it doesn't exist. You walk down the corridor some more. Bam, you get hit again. You literally get hit again. And immediately you get hit again. And then immediately you get hit again. Because I literally have just crossed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 doors. 5 doors. All of these are negative stories. The spots between the doors are your positive stories. So from the door to the closet was pretty good. But the closet redirected my way of seeing things. So as I'm coming down the hallway, I am looking for when that negative story is going to hit me again. Bam, it hits me here, it hits me here, and it hits me here. So notice just that little derailment back there changed your focus. You didn't see any good. All of a sudden, you just saw bad. And more bad. And more bad. Because negative stories are like the sun. Eventually, they're gonna come out and they're gonna kick you in the butt. It happens in everybody's life, including my own. But first, welcome back to the garden, my beautiful duckling. This is Susie, your beautiful swan queen, and we are here to discover your inner royalty with the king's incredible daughter. I am the best life coach with a 99.6% success rate in helping people get together with the love of their life. When you're interested in working with me one-on-one, joining my paid Facebook group, upscaling your money, buying t-shirts from my daughter and her bestie, those links are in the description below. But this ties into my course, these negative stories. So I've discounted my course for my 4th year anniversary coming up on YouTube. If you want to get it, there's no code. Just go purchase it and do it. Actually do it and free yourself from the negative stories. Discovering your inner royalty is freeing yourself from the negative stories. We're not here to learn to love ourselves. I totally disagree with this self-love. And this is the problem. We're going down this hallway and we're going, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself. So now I walked into the door. I love myself, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself. Bam! I just got hit with the negative story. How is loving myself gonna stop this negative story from happening? How's it gonna stop it? So now I derail and I step around and I go back to I love myself, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself, I'm amazing, I'm the bomb. Any guy, any girl would want me. The universe is in love with me. More negative, more negative, more negative. So now I feel like I'm doing something wrong. But here's what you're doing. You're pushing away these negative stories. You're closing the door. Literally, you're closing the door. Right? This one has a gate. So, we closed one door. Now we gotta close the big door. And then we're gonna go over here. We're gonna close this door. But you still know the doors are there. You still know the negative stories are here. You still know it. And the thing about these negative stories is they're eating you alive. And these coaches and posts are saying, Circumstances don't matter. It's you pushed out. No, it's an actual door. It's literally an actual door. It's not me pushed out. It is something somebody told you when you were growing up. It is something somebody said to you at a job. I had a client and she said she realized that she was told that she wasn't important. Could you imagine telling somebody they're not important? And she didn't even realize she had an issue until I told her it's important that you do this so you get this. And she goes, I don't like the word important. I was told I wasn't important. One word has totally messed up this person's life. Another person gets told that they're abandoned. Oh, you were abandoned. But they did my course and found out that they abandoned themselves. It wasn't an outside person. This time it was them who thought they were abandoned because things didn't go the way they thought. But let's talk about this logically, all right? This specific person treated you bad. This specific person treated you bad. Now you're down here dating this specific person, okay? So I'm dating this person. And this person is treating me really sweet and kind and loving, but they did something. They had a look, they asked a question, and it reminded you of one of these. Oh, look, we have another door here. These. So we literally have 1, 2, 3, 4 doors right here. 6 if you count those 2. So you have 6 stories. Which door do you walk in? Because that person back there that is treating you really nice, that you love, you want to be with, guess what? That person is being kind to you. But they did something one of these 4 did. And all of a sudden, you focused on that person's no good. That person's just like these 4. You didn't clear these negative stories. So this person that you want to be with, you want to get together with, is paying for these 4 stories that are sitting right here. So in order to be with your specific person, you gotta clear out the negative story. You have to. Because if you don't, it's gonna run amok. And it's all right here. There's literally 4 doors here. Only one of them opens out. The others close in. Which story are you picking? So Bobby did this, and Billy did that, and Dawn did this, and Kyle did that, and Steve did this, and Jared did that. But Jason's not Jared. He's not Steve. He's not John. He's not Kyle. He's not Billy. He's not Bob. He's somebody else. And because of this running, you won't let it go. So you don't trust him. You are looking for the red flags. You are trying so hard, so very hard to get them to be this loving person, but they were that loving person. You just started comparing them to your past. And if you don't clear your past, you don't get to be the queen of your story. You don't get to be the king of your story. You don't get to have that love story that you think about every day, that consumes your ever thought. So then you're told circumstances don't matter, so all of these people don't matter. And then you're told as you pushed out, so now he's acting up because you created all of these idiots. And again, that's not true. It's not true. What you did is you heard a story. And because you heard this story, you ran with it. This story was so enthralling, so infatuating, so incredible that you ran with this story. And each one of these people played their role in your story. Because that's what you did. You gave them a role to play. So you even script out what they say to you because you guys are obsessed. So Jason has to say all the things that these people didn't say. He has to do all the things that these people didn't do. Because we all know what we don't like. But the easiest way to get out of this is to let the old story out. This is why you let the old story out. It's not to teach you something. As a child, when we talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk until an adult hears us, validates us, so we are seen and heard, we continue telling the story. Well, that bad story needs to be validated. It needs to be seen and heard. And you're going to continue to talk about it until you let it go. Now think about this. This is my ex-husband. This is my first boyfriend. We broke up over a pair of sunglasses. Stupid, right? So that means that he didn't want to give me his sunglasses. So we broke up over the sunglasses. So that means my ex-husband doesn't want to give me anything. So that means the new guy that I was dating, Jared, didn't want to give me anything. So that means no guy ever wanted to give me anything because Bobby wouldn't let me have his sunglasses. See how stupid a story is? I didn't get a pair of sunglasses in 1982. So now none of these guys will buy me anything because I didn't get a pair of sunglasses. That's why it's important to let the story out. Because little Susie didn't get a pair of sunglasses. And we all know Miley Cyrus says we can buy our own flowers. So obviously I can buy my own sunglasses. You know, my son bought me a pair of sunglasses. They're purple, and every time they break, I go buy the exact same pair of glasses because I love those glasses. And every time I pick them up, I think about my son fondly. That's a good story. Whoa, my son bought me sunglasses, so anybody can buy me sunglasses. But nobody buys me anything because Bobby didn't let me have his sunglasses. Like, come on. That's really what it gets down to. Everybody abandons you because your parents died when you were a child. And you were told by an adult that you were abandoned. Oh, poor Susie. Her dad died when she was a kid. So she was little orphan Annie. Nobody wants her. My kids call me all the time. My ex still calls me. My ex-boyfriends still call me. Everybody calls me. So I'm wanted by a lot of people. So that story doesn't wash. See where I'm going? Let's tell another story. I have feast and famine. Things go really, really, really well for me and then they fall apart. That's normal life. But I gave it a name. I gave it a priority. I made it important. Feast. Famine. Oh wait, this would be feast because we have flowers in the feast. Famine. Famine would be back here with all these nasty doors. Why do you have feast and famine? Why do you have hot and cold? Why do you think that people don't do nice things for you? Where did the original story come from? Because when you figure out that original story, you can see that person who told you that in a different light. So I was told I was little orphan Annie. When my mother divorced my stepfather, she told the court she didn't want me. So my mother didn't want me. Oh, okay. And then my biological father died when I was 10, not quite 10, just before I turned 10. 1 month shy of turning 10. Like, he died in August, I was born in September. So yeah, right before my birthday. Happy birthday, he died. Happy birthday, almost, and my grandfather died. So let's talk about this. They matter. Those circumstances matter because they're a part of your story. And if you can't reframe it, refocus, or let it go, if you are talking about a problem, it's because you have not found the solution, the answer, the relief to stop talking about this. So when you focus, what are you focusing on? Yes, I have purple lights everywhere. That's what I'm focusing on. See I have purple lights everywhere. Even in my ceiling, I have purple lights. This one stays purple all the time. Oh, see, look, that's manifesting. We should distract ourselves from the real thing here. But the sun comes out. It's cloudy today. It rained last night. The sun is eventually going to come out and I'm going to see it again. So is the negative story. So until you clear it and let it go, and by letting it go, that means this no longer bothers you. You found a way to make peace with the boyfriend that didn't give you sunglasses. You found a way to make peace with being abandoned. You found ways to make peace with hot and cold. But when people tell you circumstances don't matter, I spent Monday at the doctor's office. And we all know I had COVID, 2 bouts of COVID pneumonia. That mattered. I was sick. It mattered I was sick. I was not supposed, don't take the medicine. Don't go get emergency treatment. Just ignore it like manifesting tells you so that you don't get the help. But maybe the medicine was a bridge to get you better. So Monday was at the doctor because, as y'all know, last week was really noisy and they were working on the concrete driveway across the street from me. And because they were working on the concrete driveway, a lot of dust. It's over 90 degrees. I have my air conditioner on. Even though there's a filter, air is still going to come in. Dust is still going to be in the air. So I couldn't breathe. And I noticed when I got back from Alabama that when I was in Alabama, I could breathe. Like, I could breathe. I could walk. I could do whatever I wanted. I got back here and it wasn't the same. I couldn't do all of that. So I went to the doctor and he said, you have asthma from COVID. So if I go into a panic attack with my breathing, right, and I'm gasping for air, does that matter? Are you going to be one of these doors and just ignore it? Of course you're going to raise me up and say, oh, she's breathing easier. I'm so glad she's breathing easier. I'm so glad her lungs have healed. You're going to say things like that. But a normal person is going to stop and go, do you have an inhaler? Where's your inhaler? Is there anything I can do to help you breathe? What can I do? Some people, depending upon the severity of it, might call 911. Circumstances matter, guys, and I tell you that all the time. If you're about to be evicted, it matters. If you're about to lose something, it matters. But the only thing we can control is our reaction. So we broke up with our boyfriend because we didn't get sunglasses. That's how I reacted, by breaking up with them. And then I got with somebody else and I had 4 kids and I stayed with them for a really long time when I should have left long ago. But I was financially trapped. So I had no way out. I had no help, no way out. And then when I did leave them, I had a whole bunch of people telling me what an idiot I was and I should beg him to take me back. So I should beg to go back to a toxic person. No, I'm no longer friends with those people. Those people liked my drama because it made their life feel better. And I am more of a therapist / life coach. I clear your hallway. I get rid of these negative stories because the negative stories gives you peace of mind. So now if you have peace of mind, you weren't abandoned. Is that going to be a problem in your relationship with Jason? if you were made peace with your mind and you got gifts from other people and you see that the relationship just wasn't going to work anyways, so this was just a reason to break up, then what happens? Now people give you all kinds of things because this no longer bothers you. Your peace of mind is your inner royalty. And when you discover that peace of mind, when you walk down this hallway, you're going to notice the first jot, and you're going to be like, oh, I noticed negative. What do I want to do with this? Do I want to be in a bad mood? Do I want to let it go? Do I want to work through it? Or are you going to continue down here and then you get hit 4 times in a row with negative? What are you going to do? Are you going to be happy? Are you going to be sad? Are you going to curl up in bed and forget about life? Are you going to tell everybody about it? Oh my God, this bad thing happened to me and I have to tell 9,000 people. 9,000 people need to know that I have asthma. And that wherever I go, I have to have my inhaler in my purse. But sometimes I go out without my purse. And you know, women's clothes don't have pockets. So where do I put it when I go out? In case I need it. And that's the other thing that we do in manifesting. We always prepare for the barrage of negative. Every single one of my clients, Susie, what do I do if something bad happens? We're working through, and the whole call, they're like, well, what do I need to do if something bad happens? Well, what do I do if this bad thing happens? What do I do if that bad thing happens? What do I do if something bad happens? Because we're stuck that this bad is going to continue to happen. We have to force it down until it comes back up again, and then we force it back down, but we never actually deal with it. My course deals with it, guys. It helps you to get rid of the negative associations. I didn't think I needed my course, and I did it, and I was like, holy cow. So those 10 or 15 thoughts a day that I have, I need a drink, I need to go to the bathroom, and I need food. That's what I think. Like right now, my body's telling me, you need a drink. Go get a drink. Go get a drink. So we go out of our comfort zone, down our hallway, and we close this door because we're ignoring it. And then we go around the corner, we open this door, we get a glass, and then we open up the refrigerator and we pour a drink. So today it's iced tea. And then what happens? We went out of our comfort zone, and now we came right back to our comfort zone, where all the negative stories run in the hallway. And I walk this hallway every day because there's a bathroom. On the other side of the camera, there's another bathroom. You're sitting in my bedroom. This is the studio if I want to go paint. The living room's out there. So if I want to go to bed, I got to walk the hallway. If I got to go to the bathroom, I got to walk the hallway. If I need something out of the studio, I walk the hallway. This is your habit. This literally is your habit. But because I live here, how do I change my habit? Because to get something you want, you got to change your habits. It's that easy. How do I change my habit? How do I change it? By letting go of the stories about the ex. Even though they're fun for you guys to hear, you know, some people don't like me talking about him, but they are fun. Like, he is a drama king. He's a narcissist. He's a drama king. He's also a thespian. He went to high school. He did 4 years of theater, whatever, and he has a brick on the wall. He's a thespian. So he's naturally a drama king. And this is the ex, you know, who didn't give me the glasses. So what do? Well, I made peace with the glasses, and my son bought me glasses, which was really sweet of him. And for the most part, I've made peace with the ex. Have I forgiven him? Kind of, but not the way you think. I didn't go, oh, I'm so sorry, you're a douchebag. I said, you know, I survived it. I'm going to let it go. I'm going to forgive myself for the part that I played in it, and I'm going to move on. I forgave myself for breaking up over a stupid pair of sunglasses, and I moved on. What story is this that you're running over here? What story is hiding over here? Because even though you can't see me, you can still hear me, and this story is like in your mind. And you're telling yourself this story over and over and over again. And then when you walk down the hallway, it goes, peekaboo, I'm here, and I'm going to make you miserable again today. See where I'm going? Negative stories run your life until you change your habit and free yourself of the negative story. So now, think about this. I freed myself from the negative stories. And I'm walked in my door, and this closet, which is the kids' toys, is open. And it's a mess. And it likes to wide open. And I see this and I'm like, oh wow, people love to give gifts. I've bought some of these, Savannah's bought some, my other kids have bought some, friends, other family members have bought some of these. Oh wow, look at this. People love giving gifts. The universe loves giving gifts. So, you know, I can get gifts as well. So it's so nice to see that you got gifts. Oh, people even make things for you. Like, all of my kids have bears. See, they're little teddy bears. And I use them sometimes for little skits. Those are made by me. Oh, look, my balcony scene in Paris. This was a gift. And then these are some of my paintings. This is a mommy and me. Georgia did the background, I did the foreground. Oh, look. What a beautiful studio. I can paint whatever I want in this. I can choose to forgive. I could choose to be angry. So I can look at this relationship and say, you know what? The relationship ended as a failure. But that failure taught me what I wanted in my new relationships. I didn't want to be treated that way anymore. I didn't want people to disrespect me. I didn't want to be ignored, not seen, not heard. So I found out that when I was dating all of these doors, guys that were genuine and guys that weren't, real fast. Because he taught me well over here. But look what I did. I turned chaos into a painting studio. Like, literally, it's my studio. Let's go for a walk. I think we can try there. You can see some of my paintings. My dining room table that opens up into an art easel. My tarot cards. My seashells that are in the way because seashells, it's filled. Oh, we could choose these. See, we could do these. Like, okay. So this is a big negative story. Like, the seashell's huge. It's a big negative story. This one's not as big. See? It's not as big. And this one's really, really tiny. But this is what happened. This real tiny story grew, and it kept growing and growing, and it got really big. And then it got even bigger. And then parts of it broke off and it started its own story and it got really colorful. And this looks like, oh, it's a seashell and a seashell. See? The seashell, the colorful story, gave birth to another story. Oh, and then, you know, there's all different shapes of stories. But when you let the negative go, literally, when you let it all go, you can paint your own things. You can draw, you can script, you can write. Those are techniques. And the reason we use these techniques is we are creating a new habit. And that new habit is letting go of that negative story. So if I were to have a clear glass, you would see that this is a iced tea. But because this is a dark glass, you don't see what liquid is in here. So I could tell you whatever I want is in here. I could tell you it's apple juice, orange juice. You're not seeing it. And that's what you're doing. You're not seeing the beauty in your life that's in front of you because all of these doors are wide open and you're still focusing on the negative. So when you let go of the negative, you're going to feel like at first really weird because you're going to have this quietness about your mind. And then it's going to be strange because it's like, my mind can be this quiet. And then these negative thoughts aren't going to come up. And you're going to like, well, what do I do? And I'm in this spot because when I did that program, when I did my own program, I went from 10 or 15 thoughts a day to no thoughts. But this is the beauty of it. That thought, that original thought, where does it come from? So the original thought, I want to marry this person. Where did it come from? I want to be a millionaire. I want to be a billionaire. I want to drive this car. I want to work at this company. Where did that original thought come from? Because what happens next is actually your thinking and your frontal cortex, your consciousness, and consciousness is the only reality. It gets this thought. So I need a drink. So my thought, you need something to drink. What do I do with that information? If I'm on a coaching call, I would excuse myself, or I would take the call to the kitchen and go get a drink. Or I'd say, I'm here, I'm not going anywhere, but I need to grab something to drink. If I'm out and there's no place to get a drink, when I was growing up, we had to go find a hose. We turned the hose on. And if it was 90 degrees out, like it's almost going to be 100 today, you would have to let the hose run, otherwise you got hot water. So you had to wait. You didn't want to be the first one to get a drink. You wanted to be the last one to get a drink because then you got cold water. And there were times I was the first one and people would be like, come on, come on, come on, come on. And I'm like, I'm waiting for the water to get cold. And they're like, what? And I would hold the hose out and they would go, oh my God, that's hot. I don't want to drink hot water. Neither did I. So I got iced tea, something cold. That's your habit. You had this thought, this thing that popped into your head. And then you started thinking, what should I do about this? Oh, well, he's disrespecting me. He's being cold. He's ignoring me. He's with a third party. But when you have no negative stories and they pop into your head, what's your thought? Oh, Jason popped into my head. I wonder what he's up to. What's he doing? Is life good for him? Is he having fun? He's good to me. He spoils me. He loves me. Life is amazing because he's a part of my life. I have no negative stories to run. So when I think of my guys, anyone I dated, I didn't compare them to the past. And if I get back together with somebody that I dated and I give them a take two, anything that they did, I put in the past. And I have this conversation with them. Okay, we tried this once and it didn't work. If we try it again, we both need to change our habits and the way we treat each other, because this is not going to be acceptable in round 2. So if you're not going to answer my texts in a timely manner, if you're not going to be respectful, if you're going to, I had this one guy and he would tickle me, and when he would tickle me, he didn't mean it, but it would leave bruises because of his job. And I told him, you can't tickle me like that anymore. It's a deal breaker. Like, no, that's not acceptable. We broke up again. The first time he tickled me, I said, no. He did it again, and I said, I'm not kidding you. I said, no. That's not funny. It hurts. No. He stopped. And he didn't do it anymore. That's not why we broke up the second time. There were other issues, like the fact that, he wanted to move in with me and just pay half my rent. He didn't think he had to pay for the electric or the, even though he was going to take showers and cook food, he didn't have to pay for that. He didn't have to pay for the cable. All he wanted to do was move in and pay half my rent. Did he love me, or did he just want to save money? See where I'm going? Sometimes you have to have things. You need a place to live, you find somebody who has a house or an apartment that you can sleep in. You need something else? I've been homeless. I've slept on my friend's couch. I slept on another friend's couch. It sucks. But what sucks even more is that you keep repeating these stories because you're in a cycle and you haven't been able to let it go because you haven't cleared that stupid, silly reason it started in the first place. And it's usually with our parents or somebody that was helping our parents, a babysitter. Because they say it happens from 0 to 3. And then by the time you're 3 to 7, you pick up the habits and the stories of the people you spend the most time with. So if the people you spent the most time with were broke, clean up that broke story. Was it your story, or were they talking about it? Clean it up. Because when you let go, you find out that there's an incredible world when you walk down that hallway. And you're free to then decorate your hallway any way you want. I love you guys. You have an absolutely positively amazing day. And as always, we got this far. Leave me a comment. Jason made the post. Travis is cured. If you want to be the donor, want to help somebody save their life, bethematch.org. It is linked in the bio in my description. If you're not trusting of the description, you can Google it and it'll take you to their actual website as well. Always be safe. And leave me a comment and let me know how I am drastically changing your life for the better.